Hello guys, and welcome to another video. Today I want to show you a game between Anatoly Karpov and Efim Lazarev. This is the game about 14 years ago, 14 years before Karpov wins his first championship in 1975. Karpov learned to play chess at the age of 4, and year after this match he became a candidate master, which needs 2200 elo rating in FIDE ranking. So further to do, let's jump in the match between these gentlemen. Lazarev with white pieces opens with d4. Karpov goes for d5, c4, e6, knight to c3, knight to f6, bishop to g5, bishop to e7, knight to f3, h6, pushing the bishop back, and bishop to h4. Castles by Karpov and e3, just opening the line for this bishop and defending this pawn here. Knight b to d7, c5, pushing the mid, and b6, just opening the line for the white bishop here. b4, c6, bishop to d3, just bringing it to this diagonal, possibility to bring the queen on over here and then push with the check and make some hard times for the black. But Karpov goes for b7 with bishop, and Lazarev castles. a5, a3, just not giving the opportunity to push the queen side with the pawns. Bishop to a6, just offering a bishop trade. Queen back to e2. Going to help the bishop if Karpov goes for bishop, he would easily get the trade here, and also having this diagonal for the queen. So Karpov goes for d3. He says it's okay, you can have that diagonal, and queen captures d3. b5, pushing the pawn, and knight to d2. Knight to h7, going cover the king and not giving the chance to make a check there, and actually he's getting the knight into safe, so bishop open, the line between these bishops are open now, so this bishop is under attack now, but Lazarev capture the e7 bishop, and queen captures e7 bishop. Knight to b3, a4, kicking the knight back, or Lazarev just pushes it forward because it's covered by the pawn. Rook a to c8. Karpov says that it's okay, you can have that line. I go back into other useful file. So he goes to defend this c file if it's going to open. If the knight's going to push it, he will have the trade here. So it's defending the pawn. But Lazarev goes for knight to b7. Karpov pushes e5 and f3. Rook to c7, knight to d6, knight to c5, and rook to a1, knight to e6, knight to e2, maneuvering with the knights, to g5, knight to g3, and knight to e6, knight g to f5, and attacking with the queen, f6. King goes in the more defensive square at h1, and bring the king out in the game. h7. Karpov Kasarev opens his check with discovery check by the queen, but Karpov has this handgun. He pushes just the g6 to defend his king. Oh, sorry. So okay, this was the g6 and rook to d1, queen to e7, queen to c3 and f6, queen to d3. Kasarev doesn't find any good moves here, so he's just making these waiting moves. h4. He didn't want to push this yet, but he has not much to do here. f5. Karpov pushes his pawns. He has nice pawn structure here. It's like a big wave coming here. And h5. Queen checks h4 and king goes back into g1. Queen captures g3. Pawn captures g6 with the check and captures with the queen. King goes back to defense in better square f2 and pawn captures d4. Captures knight to f4, just putting pressure against this pawn here, and queen to d2, just attacking the knight. Queen captures g2 pawn with the check, and it's protected by the knight, so king has to move to e1. Queen captures d2, and Kasarev picks it up with the d2 rook move. So material is now 2 knights and a rook, 2 rooks versus 2 rooks and knight. So Karpov has bigger, more opportunities here. And rook to h1, just threatening this pawn here. If it's going to push at least somewhere here, he could pick it up. So knight to f8 and rook to h2, just putting more pressure against this pawn. It's double attacked now, so Karpov has to bring someone to defend it. But instead that he's going with knight to e6 and rook to d2, knight to g5, king to f2, rook to e6, knight captures f5, bringing the rook to attack this knight, f7, knight to h4, knight to g6, knight captures g6, rook captures f3 with the check, and king goes back to g1, king captures g6, king to g2, attacking the rook, and rook captures a3, and rook to b1, and rook knight to e4. And it was this position when the Kasarev resigned the game. Since he's down material, he has 2 rooks against the 2 rooks and knight, and he cannot move his pawns here, and it's completely winning game for the black, since this pawn is fast pawn and the king protects it nicely, and he will bring the knight also to defend this attack, and king never can approach these squares if the knight is holding them, and tower rooks will come to help, and he made this decision, and it would be very hard to make even draw for this, because he cannot move his pawns here, and this rook is just well, it's just a game over. But thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.